My name's Gav, and you're very welcome here to tell me your story. Now we are recording this live on Substack. That's where this will be. Feels like a good home for it. But you may be watching this somewhere else. It will certainly be on YouTube, and you'll certainly be able to see this face. And for me, down here, it's Linnhe. Hello, Linnhe. How are you?
Hello. Fine, good, yeah. Thank
Now,
you.
you are my perfect guest for the first one of these because I'm very excited. I'm very excited for a number of reasons. Let me do a quick introduction, if I may, and then we'll have a conversation. Now, the plan is we're going to chat. I talk a lot at the beginning, but you're going to do most of the talking in the middle bit. And then we've got some people who are joining us.
Didn't
So hello to
mention that.
I
Okay.
know. You can if you want hold up signs. You can dance, pull faces. You know, there's very interpretive routes. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I'm a storyteller. I'm a creative myself, a performer, but I don't know how other people do it. I am a chaos monkey. I turn up and I make noise in the general direction of an audience. A good thing for me is I can kind of eke out some ideas and it seems to go okay some of the time. But you, Linny, you're one of those people that have the skill of transferring what you've got here out into the world. And I don't know how you do that. How do you do what you do? But before you do that, this is the book that I've read. The first of the incredible machines of thinkery, Outpost 9. I've just finished it. What's coming out soon?
What's coming out soon? Is this putting in the sequel already, are we?
Yeah.
What's coming
We'll
out
go
soon?
back to the first one.
Book 2, which is Future's End. So it's sequel. 2 books.
Hey! So you've got your library is growing. Okay, so let's talk about Outpost 9 first of all. Then we'll talk about you, and then we'll talk about the new book. I love this. How would you describe it? And I'll tell you how I'll describe it. I describe it to people afterwards. How would you describe it to a new reader?
I'm really struggling with this because I don't think it fits particularly well into any neat category. It's dystopian, speculative sadness set on a Dutch island. And it's a little bit steampunk, it's a little bit sci-fi, and it's not any of one thing.
No,
Not the greatest sales.
it's a great pitch because that's what works for me. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's set in a world that we recognize, but we don't. It's kind of a universe across. Maybe
Yeah,
it seems to be in the past, but there's elements that seem very contemporary. It's not science fiction, but there's science fiction in it. It's not a historical novel, but it's really driven. Now, Outpost 9, that's a real place, is it?
yeah, it
Tell me,
is.
which
It's
came first? Did this place come first, or did the story come first?
well, and this first because it was actually built in 1892 on the Dutch island, and I found it on Google Maps, trying to find somewhere interesting to start a screenplay idea as a writing exercise. And I wanted something a bit weird and a bit bleak and a bit mysterious. So I wrote my entry to a screenplay, and then the people I was with, the writing group, said, "Where's the rest of the book?" So then I had to go back and turn it into a book. So that's kind of where I started from.
What a hook, though, is a writing exercise. You introduced it to someone and they said, we want more of this.
Yeah.
Have you
I
been
mean,
there?
I have been there after I wrote the book,
After.
sort of anti-research.
Okay.
Yes, there you go.
Absolutely incredible.
It's
Now, the book itself, I hate to use this word because I'm not sure whether or not it's appropriate, but, our hero, so to speak, what does he do, and why is he in a bleak shed on stilts in a remote island in the northwest of is it the Wadden Sea? The Wadden Sea?
Yeah, Holland. Yeah. I don't know why I made it so sad for him. His job is to report back to this mysterious Institute of Thinkery. I'm not going to say too much because it'll give it away. But he's isolated for a reason, so he's kept away from where his wife is, who is in the Institute of Thinkery, being used for scientific testing and whatnot. And he's been removed from the situation so that he can't interfere.
Now you mentioned a screenplay. I read this and it jumps about places and people and narratives. It was so visual. I could see this. It was a picture painted as I was reading it. I was there. I did go and have a look at where you'd set it, and so I had an idea. And I'd actually seen I'd seen this place on the One Show a few years ago. Arthur Smith, the comedian, went there to look at because lots of things wash up, don't they? I know things
Yeah, yeah,
wash up in your
yeah.
book. Whether or not you reveal that, that's up to you.
I think that's on the back actually about what washes
Yeah, two bodies. It does say that on the
up,
back. There you go.
bodies wash
Two,
up.
which is a
But
lot
they don't
different.
actually in real life. That's not what they're. Yeah, spoiler.
Now, did you see all the objects inside that shed? Did you see where Edwin would sit?
Yeah, yeah. But it's full of like plastic dolls' heads and old buoyancy aids and Lego. So a bit different to how he would have had it. But it was quite funny being in that space with that head on, like dolls with no heads, or
So
maybe
how does
not.
a, maybe not, maybe not. So how does a book that was a writing exercise? Well, how does writing exercise turn into? Well, how many books have you got in at the minute in your head?
Uh, Too many half-started ones. I mean, I can't write a script. I would write a script if I could. I don't have those skills. I'll do it this way. um, I just like the idea of painting with words, so it's visual. I like the visual
It is a,
element.
it is very very visual, and you've just released an audiobook version.
Yeah, which isn't visual.
But it paints pictures. Having I think
It,
sometimes I'm a big consumer of audio podcasts and books.
I don't. I'm a bit of a. I don't listen to much audiobooks at all. Many audiobooks at all. But a lot of people do. My husband does. Not that he would listen to this because he likes aliens and kings and planets and that kind of thing. But the guy offered to record this. You know the type. The books are this thick, and the characters' names begin with Z. That's his
Yeah.
thing. You know the ones.
Well, this book is
So this is.
very, very approachable, very readable, very accessible, and
Yeah,
fast. It's really
I like.
fast.
Yeah, that sounds is right. Right.
Say that last bit again.
But my internet's getting a bit rubbish. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Hmm?
These are the travails of living in a rural setting, which is what you do. This is you live in a rural part of
Yeah.
the world. Does that influence your writing?
I don't know about answer. No, I don't think so. I'm not like I think in Cumbria there's a lot of writing about the hills and whatnot, but I want to go further and weirder. So I don't think so.
South
No.
Shields. South Shields. Perfect.
Not the
So
greatest tool marketing.
yeah, it's a very different South Shields. I like South Shields and the people from South Shields.
I
Um,
do.
so before we talk about the
Not
new
that.
book, and obviously you can't tell us too much. I'm really genuinely invested, and we were talking about this when I finished the new book. I was slightly, I did text you about about the book and how I needed the second book. So that, as I'm really really invested. Before we talk about the second book, tell me about where and when and how you do it. Are you a typer? Are you a writer? Do you how do you write? Where do you write? What do you need?
BBC Six Music and a laptop. I'm not a hand writer. I am a typey. And then I tend to like make notes on my phone and then copy them over if I've got ideas when I'm doing other things. One main document, which is probably not a good idea because harder to edit. I learned a lot for this second book. How to make it easier. Yeah.
And do you have a fixed time? Do you like to write at home? Are you one of these people that can sit in a it's Cumbria, so tea rooms? I was going to say, do you have to have a particular chair?
A particular chair and sofa ideally. So I like to separate work and the writing. So ideally the sofa for writing.
And
Otherwise
ev-
it just all feels, who needs that?
and is it an everyday thing for you? Is it a compulsive? Is that there, or does it store up and then burst out?
I'm hoping it's going to burst out because I've not written anything for ages. So life's been a bit, but I think over winter, like, I write a lot, and then in summer not so much. So I think maybe it's seasonal.
Well, there's things to do in the summer when there's light.
Yeah, you can look at the light window instead of the dark window. Yeah.
Uh, so, who do you go to when you've got something written? When do you have trusted readers? We've already established that your husband needs to have a big thick book with lots of characters in. So, but do you have people that you can share it with?
Uh, my writing group people who are lovely. They're my kind of. I don't go there to cheer anyone up. They always laugh at me when I turn up with my little piece of misery. But they've taught me a lot about writing and show me where I'm going wrong and where I can improve. And so they're kind of my go-to people. And then since between this book and this book, I've collected a few nice folks on Instagram who've also been helping out with beta reading and big words like that.
And how does that make you feel? Because I know as a performer, it's a disgusting thing that I have to do. I have to have an idea and then I need to show it to people and then I have to test. I get the reaction live. At least you're not necessarily in the same room. How do you feel about sharing work for the first time?
Oh, I hate it. Absolutely. I always go, sorry. Sorry. I don't think it'll get any easier. I'm just not confident at all. I just have to pretend I'm someone else when I give it to someone else. I think I
Well,
couldn't
there's
do what you
no.
do and do it for people.
Well, what I do is easy. I just two ideas and string it out for an hour. There's no reason to apologise for this because I just wholeheartedly recommend it. As I say, I'm genuinely excited about the second book. So tell us a bit about that. What can you tell us? Cumbria there getting in the way. Cumbrian internet mine has closed down. I think everybody in rural, we hear a lot about rural access to the internet. Maybe Linnhe has used her day's worth. Well, there you go. Okay, so I'll just say a quick hello. I can see that in the live here, there's Katie and Dawn and Barry, Claire and Josie, Kelly. Welcome. You are very welcome. And Ellen is here. And Ned. That's right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and re-invite Linnhe one more time, see if she can come back. That's the way forward. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about Tell Me Your Story. I have 3 more guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. And I'll tell you about those at the end as Linnhe is coming back in. The internet might settle down. Next week, we've got Francis Todd, who is a writer and illustrator and publishes comics that are being stocked and sold in independent comic stores around the country. I'm just a big fan. Hello again, welcome back.
Sorry about that.
Th-
I've
No,
moved, but now I can just hear Spirit in the Sky really loud downstairs because I'm over my husband's guitar room.
well, we can't hear it, and that's a shame. We could have had a little
Oh, that's
underscore.
good.
When we left off, I said, what can you tell us about the second book? I know from the blurb it says it's jumped forward 2 years, but what have you learned from the writing of the first that you've put into the second that you can tell us about?
I just think I have learned edit more as you go along. And setting it out and the formatting, I've learned so much, and I feel more confident this time round. What I worry about this book is it's too explosive, but maybe not, depending if people like explosions.
But literally,
There's a lot going on.
yes, because the
Yeah,
pace of the
literally, yeah.
but that's wonderful because the pace of the first book is this bleak, distant land, and then suddenly, bang! You're in the action. That's what I mean. It's so cinematic. It's so filmic. And I know we're talking about writing, and Substack is very much been a writer's portal. But no, it's such a thoroughly exciting thing. So I'm excited that it goes explosive. Do we meet new characters?
Yes. I don't want to give too much away about the main new character, the professor
Okay,
fella, who
that's
seems
okay.
to be Russell Brand.
Okay,
I don't think there's anything else other than that, really.
we'll just leave it
um,
there.
leave it there. He's the main new character, and then there's
Well,
a
that's
lot
a
of.
picture
That's a
painted.
big new character. Yeah, picture painted, job done. I'm quite pleased with him because he's the bad guy, but not the bad guy. So I'm hopefully I've got it right.
Okay, so let me ask you. You said he seems. So let me ask you this question. It may seem a bit weird. Do you speak for your characters, or do they speak through you?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that. Through me, I think. I do get quite invested in them. I get quite attached and I worry about them. Is that probably a bit odd, isn't it?
No.
This is a bit that Stubbs will edit this out. um, yeah, I do want to feel what they feel. Otherwise, what they say or how they react wouldn't be authentic, would it?
No. But are you surprised by some of the things that you hear them say when you're typing it out?
Yeah, definitely this one. There's some, yeah. So I kind of got carried away with it, and I wrote it all. I came back going, oh heck. See, I'm not swearing. I'm doing very so ever so well.
Well, feel
Because
free
it's a
if
lot.
you.
This it's a lot more about Edwin finding happiness and
Okay.
lots of explosions. So there's quite a lot gone into it. I
Happiness.
don't want to give too much away. I've got to be really careful
No.
because if I start talking, I'll either swear or give everything away.
Well, I would say lean into the first, and then that leaves the second available to be fulfilled with through reading.
Very good.
Okay, so do you have worlds outside of the incredible machines of thinkery that you've got on the back burner or writing ideas for, or is this
Um,
your world at the minute?
that's my main. I've got like short stories and because they're quite fun to do to enter to competitions and that kind of thing. But they're my main. That is my main world. Sorry, singular, one world. I haven't hit the
World
whiskey.
building.
Well,
Have another shot of the whiskey, and then that'll be out.
and now I've got a cat.
That is very common on these things. When I've watched things, the cat's like, "Well, who are you talking to, and why is it not
Yeah.
me?"
Why is it me?
And have you written the cat into the books yet?
No cats. No. Sorry. That's why
And
she's. That's why. Yeah.
well, that's the opinion of that. That was to me, that was a plea. Okay, so I'm always interested in. I'm not one of those people that sometimes people give a recommendation and then you're like, no, don't tell me what I'm gonna like.
Oh, I'm like that. I don't watch anything if someone
Oh
tells me.
yeah.
Yeah, turn right off. I've never
Okay.
seen Harry Potter for that reason.
Well, I'd like to ask about then don't recommend, all right? Don't recommend. What I want to know is what are your comfort blankets? What in terms of books and films and music, artists, creatives? What are the ones you keep returning to? It doesn't have to be because sometimes this question is asked and you're thinking, well, what's something that makes me sound cool? I don't
Oh no.
want that answer. I want your genuine comfort blankets. And if it helps you, my answer to that, the honest answer to that for me would be, I'm a Star Trek guy,
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's all
and
right.
that's my comfort blanket. I'll watch it again. I'll read some of the old books I've got, and that's what makes me happy. What about you? What are your literary, filmic,
I think
otherwise
there's only
comfort
one
blankets?
film I would go back to again and again. That's Life of Brian.
Okay,
I'm not very good at going back to films or TV. Back to books,
right.
but yeah, but that's probably the one film I would happily watch on a loop.
That's fair enough. That's a good choice. It's a great
It's
choice.
a
I
good
think
film to have on a
I
loop.
had that on audio cassette somewhere. I wish I knew where it was. So, what's the books that you return to, or the worlds anyway?
Um, just got new ones. I'm trying to keep like when I was like in my 20s, it was all about Terry Pratchett, and so I've got all of those. And now my son started reading them, so I've started reading them a little bit as well because they're Terry
Nice.
Pratchett in it. So,
Yeah.
but like new stuff, I'm looking at like they've got the new book, Ali Smith. It's called Glyph, and it's really strange world where this organisation paints red paint around the unwanted. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's hard
Who
to
did you?
explain.
No, that's okay. Who did you say it was by?
I've got it right here. Just to,
Go on, man, show us.
Joe, I'll show you. It's on loan. This book, so I've got to be quite careful with it. This is it.
Okay.
It
Signed
is really, really
copy.
good. It takes you a while, and then when it twigs, you're like, "That's genius." It's really, really good. So that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Nice. Now, I'm going to see if there's anybody in the chat who wants to ask Linnhe a question, and that could be about the work, it could be about what you do, and the such like. But when do you feel the most creative? Are you a morning up with the lark? Onto
No, not that one. um, oh, mid morning or early evening, I think is my best points. I'm not an early morning, and can't do late at night. This is very late for me.
Is it? I do apologise.
Yeah,
Well, we've got
it's all
five more
right.
minutes. 5 more minutes and it's after 9, and then we're after the watershed, and you can just let rip on the
Let it
invective.
go. Let it all out. Right. It's
Treat
building up.
yourself.
No.
claire has a Claire has a question. Yeah, so do you have type it in, Claire? Do you have a ritual? Is it like a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, 2 biscuits and I'm away? What's the procrastination you have to get out of the way?
Coffee.
That
Coffee.
coffee.
2 double
Fuel.
espressos before you start.
Okay, and that's the fuel.
That's the fuel, I think.
and
Yeah.
and have you always been a writer? Is it innate within you?
No. I only started 23.
Right, this is interesting.
2023, not when I'm 23. I
I
meant
was going to say, yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
2023, and what was it? The writing group that started it,
Yeah.
or was it an idea?
I was trying to look at things I could do, like new things to learn. I thought, I'll try the writing because a friend of mine runs it and she's lovely. So I was like, that'll be nice. So I started going there, and I still do because it's lovely. But that's what kind of got me going.
And you
I
haven't
didn't honestly
stopped,
think it was something I could do, to be honest.
but you
No,
are.
apparently not.
So there's 2 questions here. You can do. You must. It's not because you have a book, you have a sequel coming out, and it's a smasher. So I'm going to go to Barry's questions and then Claire. Now, what you need to be thinking to answer Claire's, Linnhe, is you've got to pitch to a book group as to why they should read your book. But where does your name come from? And I will admit, my question to you yesterday was how to pronounce your name properly.
This always gets people because it's from Loch Linnhe in Scotland. There's a loch in Scotland called Linnhe, and I am named after that loch in Scotland, but I'm Welsh.
Oh,
There's your answer.
in,
it's
I mean, I wouldn't call
interesting
that an
parents. I have a
answer.
twin sister who's named after a coal mine.
Which one? You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to out them. Right. So pitch the book
Which one?
So the question is, would your book be a good choice for a book club read?
Oh, I can't quite read.
There you go. Would your book be a good choice for a book club read?
Yes, I'm going to say
What,
yes, please. That'd be lovely.
but why?
I'm going to say, sorry. Yes, it would, because it's quite short. It's not going to overwhelm people. And I'm just trying to think of a way of explaining it. It's kind of like a written Black Mirror. If you like Black Mirror, the series, then you will like the book. It's that same sort of dark twist on life, reality, like I said, alternative kind of universes, but not
Yeah.
so
I,
far fetched as you're not going to buy into it. So,
no, it is grounded in that reality.
I'm
As I say,
so
for
sorry
me,
about my internet.
it is breaking up. That's okay. For me, it felt like one or two worlds. It's a world that's a couple of worlds between us and Lyra's. That if you know his Dark Materials universe, there's something uncanny about it. I would recommend it for your book club because I say it's short chapters and strong characters. Maybe Linnhe's paused. Yeah, the neighbours are watching something. Maybe I've got a suspicion that Linnhe might drop out again. I will see. But if you're still here, Josie asked, "Do you think you'd have started or finished a book without the writing group? And how did the writing group help you?" That's a really good question.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have even started. I definitely wouldn't have finished. I think it's just having that feedback, and if you've got something wrong, they'll tell you, and then you learn something. And it gives you kind of, if you're meeting like once a month or once a fortnight, it does keep you going. Like so, and they're asking like what's going to happen next, so I better write some more stuff. So when I first started writing, I didn't think it was going to be a book. I did think it was going to be a short story, so I did get a bit carried away on the word count. But it just kept getting bigger and bigger. No, definitely, it was a writing group that it's their fault.
A series of deadlines.
Yes, yeah. And it didn't matter if you wrote like 1,000 words or 100 words for each deadline, but you'd written something to take and get feedback on. So I think that's crucial, really, because otherwise you're just on your own, completely on your own, and then that's not really very good for many things, really.
Well, I'm genuinely excited. Tell us a bit how people can get in contact with you, how they can get hold of the books, how they can follow you, and let us know.
Well, I'm on here on Substack, which that'd be easy to find because we're here already, and also Instagram and Blue Sky and TikTok. And if you put my name in spelt like that, it does pop up because no one else has this name.
It's just
Scottish
you.
Loch, just me. Yeah,
And Substack, of course,
easy to
does
find.
have. Say sorry.
Sorry, it says easy to find a name, the Scottish Loch.
the Scottish Loch. And Substack, of
Yeah.
course, holds examples of your writing and your thinking and your articles, so it gives a real flavour of what you do as well.
Yeah, they're just little bits and bobsy kind of newsletter on there. I did, and then I've got another Substack that has short stories on it, which I've neglected terribly because I got carried away in Holland with my shed on stilts.
With the big story, with the very big story. Do you know what? I'm really grateful. I was inspired to talk to you after reading this and to start this. So I'm so grateful that you are my first person, this first conversation, and with you. It is so exciting. And I genuinely, as they say from where I'm from, Southeast London, there's no flannel here, Linnhe. I can't wait to read the second book, I promise you.
Don't explain, your internet's better than mine.
Well, that's all right. That's because I'm one of those horrible. I'm a town mouse, and of course, you've got the delight of the country mouse.
I've jinxed it again.
Well, we've got to this
Oh,
point.
I quite
Say again.
with my internet, so thank you for hanging on in there. The folks that
Not
are
at
watching.
all.
So
It's absolutely been worth our while spending this time with you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to wrap this up
thank you for
and
inviting.
talk about the next couple of weeks. But for now and forevermore, and even if I just do these four, you was my first guest, and I'm really grateful, and I've learned so much. And thank you so much, and good luck, and keep let me
Thank
know
you.
what's going on.
Oh well, you'll have to. Yeah, I will. I said you'll have to read the second book.
I'm going to
And
read the second book.
thank you to everybody for tuning in, because I was not sure what to expect, and you've all been lovely, and
They
I've
are
managed to
lovely
answer the
people.
questions relatively accurately,
Well, you got to
apart
get
from the
used
lot
to
in
this.
Scotland. Hmm?
Yep, you got to get used to this because I feel there's because of the nature of both the writing, the piece, and also the fact that it's a big story. You're going to be at festivals. They're gonna want to talk to you. So
Oh, I can't blame the internet then, can I?
no.
Oh,
Have a
thank you
great
very much.
evening for the rest of your evening. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Cindy.
Go
Bye
back to my
bye.
whiskey. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
So there we go. Thank you, Linnhe. The first of these conversations. Tell me your story. They genuinely are. I'm a curious person, and also I'm a jealous person. Most creatives are painfully jealous. Yes, we doubt what we do, but we look over and say, oh, how did they do that? How can they do that? I'd love to be able to get ideas out, and I can speak. I think I can do that, but I can't get that out in the written form, or I can't write a poem, and I can't write a play, and I certainly can't draw. So next week we're going to the same time, 8:30 on a Tuesday. Francis Todd, as I was saying before, this is issue 3 of Caribou. Really very thoughtful, quite surreal, very moving, funny, dark, twisted world that seems to have been inhabited by Francis and beyond. I mean, to me, you can't tell me that's not got a Tintin influence about it, has it? But so I'm a big fan. You can see this is my signed copy. All of my copies and editions are, and I have been since I first saw their work. So that's next week. The following week, Dr. Kate Fox. Kate Fox, poet, broadcaster, storyteller, podcaster, journalist, who's currently on a writing retreat. I know, well, abroad. That's in 2 weeks' time. And then Helen Jeffrey, playwright, poet, facilitator, performer, who's just got their first debut full-length play on tour currently. Most of them are here on Substack, so you can follow them, and then I'll be posting links. Thank you so much. If you're watching this live on Substack, Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, thank you so much. Please do that like and subscribe business and come and join in. And maybe one day you'll tell me your story. I can see in here we've got Josie Ray. Josie Ray is a creative person as well. They publish zines. Barry, I know, is everywhere. Claire Fawkes, there's not a comedian that Claire hasn't seen live. I know, and that's just for starters. So please do say hello. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next Tuesday. And by then, I might be doing this live on both Substack and Twitch. We shall see. Tell me your story next time. Bye bye.